Hello, my friends. Welcome to Milk Slinger. My name is Jennifer, and today I'm going to make cream cheese. We have so much cream from our cows right now that it's kind of ridiculous, and I'm having to figure out a way to use this up. So this morning, I took the milk that was in the fridge, the cream had risen, and I skimmed off just the top part. Close the door, Caroline, I'm filming. You gotta see the gorgeous flowers. So the thing about using raw farm milk for making cream cheese is that when you skim the milk, even though you think you got just cream, there will still be a separation and a little bit of milk will show up at the bottom of the jar. So if you're making cream cheese and it coagulates, you get a thin layer of milk cheese at the bottom. Those white bits get blended all through the cheese and it creates a different texture. To fix that problem, I'm taking just the very top of the cream, the thickest part of it, because I want to make sure I get just cream and not the milk. The recipe I am using comes from Home Cheese Making. They have a whole bunch of different cream cheese recipes. The one I like the best of the ones that I've tried is the Swiss style cream cheese. I'm doing a double batch. It disappears really, really fast, especially if you like to make a cheesecake, which I do. Heat the cream to 65 degrees. It heats up very, very quickly. Last time I made it, I accidentally heated it to like 85 or 90. It was fine. We're already there, 65, 69, I don't know what we're at, we're done. If you're using calcium chloride, you need to add a 1/4 teaspoon per quart. So this would be a 1/2 teaspoon of calcium chloride. It's more than normal. And for 1 quart, it calls for 1 packet of direct set mesophilic culture. I'm not gonna use that, I'm using like a pinch of Floridanica per quart of cream. You could also use clabber if you wanted to. I have no idea if that's enough or not. Maybe I'll use a tiny bit more. So you let that set for 2 minutes just so it can reconstitute before stirring it in. And they're still chunkies. It's kind of hard to get out. See those? I'm just kind of mashing them against the pot. It's good enough, I suppose. There's a drop of liquid rennet per quart of cream, so I'm doing 2 drops. This is kind of tricky to do, so I'm gonna probably end up doing it on a spoon and then doing it off the spoon, but I want to get exactly 2 drops. Oh, that was 1 too. I saw it go really quick. It's barely any rennet. That's the amount of rennet in there. You can see. And you dilute that in about a tablespoon or so of water. Give it a wee stir. And I just put a note on here, do not touch. And this will sit here till tomorrow morning. It is 10 o'clock, so it's been, I can't do math, 12, 6, about 18 hours since I did this. I was gonna do it earlier, but I forgot. I was busy at my desk and I was like, oh crap, I forgot to do the cream cheese. We're still good. So here's the curd. You can see how thick it is. Kind of slice in. The recipe says to add 2 teaspoons of salt per quart, so it's going to be 4 teaspoons for a 1/2 gallon. However, the one I made before was a little bit on the salty side, so I'll just scale it back just a little bit. So you want to salt the curds in layers. So 1, the salt is going to be expressing the whey as it hangs in the bag. 2, I'm making it scant. 3, scant. 4. So now you tie up the corners just like you're going to hang a regular cheese. This is fairly runny, so you don't want to get a cheesecloth that has a very wide weave. I will probably get about a cup of whey max from all of this. I think that's what it was last time. You take a wooden spoon, stick it through the bottom loopy like that, so it's hanging. So now here's the problem. A whole bunch of dishes. And that's where I want to hang it. At least they're clean. Then I have a bowl right here to catch it. And right there's that little loop. I just stick it in there. And it's like levering against the top right there, so it's not gonna fall. And that's where it's gonna stream. I'll come back in a few hours and open it up and give it a stir so that the moisture on the inside has a chance to release and the outside edge that gets firmer will get worked into the center. All right, you can see how much whey is in there and it's all sploochy. See how it's stiff on the outside? So kind of jostling it that way kind of helps to peel and give it a taste, of course, because cream cheese. That's delicious. It's tangy, silky smooth, lovely. So then you retie this. I'm gonna do the one that looks messier first. All right, this should continue to drain and let it go for a little while longer. how much pounds weigh I've gotten out, plus a dead fly. All right, here we go with my little stork bag of cheese. Now remember, right now it's all spreadable and gorgeous, but it will thicken in the fridge. Look at that. Oh, it's so gorgeous. What I'm gonna do is just package it in this bag. I can't remember if I got a new cloth last time or not. I don't think I did. That's what happens if you don't write every single thing down, you will forget, guaranteed. Pick it up, plop it in, more or less smooth it out. And this does not have to be perfect. All this is just gonna go in the wash, so don't worry about that mess. A little bit of whey will probably come out. I'm just gonna set this on a plate like so. Put this on top. It's just light pressure and let it sit overnight next to the sourdough because I am a rebel and because it doesn't matter at all. So this has been sitting all night. It got a little bit lopsided. I wonder if I should have had more weight on it, but I didn't. So there we go. And here's the whey that came out. So it's not much at all. And there's my block of cream cheese. Look at that. Isn't it gorgeous? You know, here's the other thing. I've been conditioned to think that cream cheese ought to be white, milk ought to be white, eggs ought to be white. That's not true. If you're eating real food, it's gonna have color to it. It's gonna have energy, it's gonna have life, it's gonna have pizzazz, it's gonna have character, and it is going to show you that it is in your food. It's not gonna hide, it's real. This cream cheese is yellow. The eggs that we eat are brilliant yellow, almost orange. This morning I was having sourdough pancakes. The butter and the scrambled eggs were almost identical in shade of color. My mom thinks that if a cheesecake is yellow color, it's wrong, like that turns her off. This is not all white. This makes your cheesecake yellow, and you add in a couple farm fresh eggs, your cheesecake is a yellow cheesecake. We have been being educated for years and years that this is what cream cheese looks like, this is what cheesecake, this is what eggs should be, whatever, whatever, whatever. Butter should be white. No, winter butter will be white. Summer butter will be bright yellow. That's real food. That's what you should be aiming for. That's what the baseline should be. Anyway, let's try this. You can cut it up and serve it. What I'm gonna be doing is partitioning it. It is sliceable, but it is also very, very soft. And remember, this is not chilled, this is room temperature. You can see how smooth that is, but you can also detect a little bit of grittiness, graininess, which does not taste grainy, but it looks that way. So I dialed back the salt in this a little bit. I think I prefer the full amount of salt, so I will make the recipe to reflect that. I wish you could taste it. It's velvety and creamy and cheesy. It's cream that is now cheese. We've been eating this cream cheese. It's fabulous with crackers, with fresh bread. I took some to work and we were eating it smeared on fresh olive sourdough. I made homemade sourdough bagels the other day and I had this homemade cream cheese and I basically felt like a goddess. The problem with the homemade cream cheese, when you put it on a hot bagel, it melts a little bit, similar to butter. I'm used to my Philadelphia cream cheese just, smearing it on and it stays stable. This is different. It's homemade. It's gonna have a little bit of a melt. If you don't like that, like I am not conditioned to like that, I let my toasted bagel cool a little bit before putting on the cream cheese and then it was totally fine. I'm not gonna worry about keeping this in cubes. It doesn't really matter. 2 pounds, almost 7 ounces. So 2.5 pounds for a half gallon of cream. So these are gonna go in the freezer. If I get these in 8-ounce packages, that will be perfect. I test froze it and it freezes beautifully. There was no texture difference. I'm going to just be making a bunch of cream cheese in the next couple months and freezing a bunch, and I can make cheesecakes and just pull out however many I need. All right, so I made a cheesecake yesterday, or 2 days ago, or 3 days ago, I forget when it was, with the first batch of cream cheese that I did. It'll probably all fall apart, yep. Oh wow, it's good. So here you can see all the yellowness, real cream, real eggs is gonna be yellow, people, but look at that. And then strawberry and sour cherry sauce to go on it because it's a pretty sweet and rich cake and you need some tart to cut that. It makes a very light, rich cake. My husband said he thinks this cream cheese makes the best cake. However, when you look at it, it looks grainy a little bit. And I blended this in a food processor, so it should have been totally incorporated. However, when you taste it, I don't detect any graininess. That goes down real nice. Look, she just brought me from work biscuits. This is when it's still cold in the fridge. You can see how it kind of crumbles. So it's kind of important if you're going to be serving this to people, you let it come to room temperature first.